Welcome to this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports, high school basketball tournament edition of Mainly Motorsports. Obviously, if you're trying to watch on Time Warner, Channel 9, you're not going to be able to this week unless maybe you catch it early in the morning. That's this time of year, the high schools kind of take over the airways. They have their B, C, D, everything going on, and it's a great time of year for those players, the families. Tournament season, school vacation. So we're doing a little bit different show this week, similar to what we did last year at this time. Put a special edition show together. You can catch it on WPME at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. So if you're turning on, you want to catch it on the computer or on YouTube, the Mainly Motorsports TV.com, you might be watching it there. But it's always an option to catch up with the past episodes. But show number 299. This is show number 299. I mean, that's just, when you say that for a television show, for a little TV show that John Crawford had the vision to start, I don't know how many years ago he did, and here we are on the verge of 300 shows, 300 episodes of, a show that we're bringing you. We brought you kids, we brought you, older racers. You've watched them come, you've watched them go, retire. We've lost racers. It's just amazing what we've been able to do, and I appreciate all the support of, everybody that's tuned in to this show. Over the 4 or 5 years that I've owned it, the tracks, tours, organizations that have taken us and allowed us to bring you, the race fan, the motorsports enthusiast, things that behind the scenes look, some different things we've done. And that's what today's show is going to be about. I've gone back through the archives, found some different things we've done over the years, some shows we've done, just kind of where we progressed with Mainly Motorsports to where we are now. I'm not saying we're ESPN, NASCAR Now quality, but we've come a long ways with this show. We've done some great things. We've covered some great races. Met some great people. And first and foremost, I can't thank the sponsors enough that are with us today. Some of them have been through the lean years, thick and thin. They change over, but the core group we have now sees what we're trying to do, stands behind what we're trying to do, and we really value and appreciate each and every one of them. So I want to give a shout out to Scott Lamfer, the whole family at Scott's Recreation, LKQ, Daryl Weston, Jennifer, they've been on board. We've shown you the inside of their facility, and really appreciate LKQ. Sean Moody, Moody's Collision Center, ran for governor a few years ago. Didn't end up where he wanted to. We're not bringing this episode to you from the Blaine House, but Sean Moody has been a big supporter since he got on board here at Mainly Motorsports, and can't thank him and his employees enough. Southern Maine Motors, the Waldron family, Vicky Mulkern, kind of got that deal together for us, introduced me to her brother Bill. Everything's taken off, and they've been behind us, and really appreciate them. HMS Motorsports, Joe Marco. It's the time of year, folks. You're looking for those new belts. You're looking for the helmet, the Hans. HMS Motorsports. Go to our website, direct link over, and then see what Joe and them can do. Safety should be your number one concern. Not going fast, being safe. That's your number one concern. Bentley Saloon, Bentley Warren. The 2012 Mainly Motorsports season, it was Bentley's first forte in it. We worked together, put the motorsport show together down there, and just really appreciate Bentley and Lisa and Bruce and the whole gang there, and look forward to a long-lasting relationship with them. Clark's East Side and West Side Scrap, the Clark family. You all know Johnny Clark, 6-time Pro All-Star Series champion. His father, John Clark, Bobby, the whole family, big supporters of our show, and can't thank them enough, and for being with us and coming on board and supporting what we try to do. The Geary Hotel chain, they work with us at the Northeast Motorsports Expo, and then they work year-round. You can get a discount rate year-round at the Geary Hotel chain. Just tell me what the Mainly Motorsports rate. Award champs. I mean, you guys have seen the hardware, the awards we're able to give out, from the Mainleys to the show awards to the Mainly Motorsports TV 400. Todd Mead came on board with me right when I started and took over the show. Tried to get him to come on board as a scroll sponsor. It was called Eastern Awards and Engraving. Wanted more than that. Wanted to be a bigger part of the show. And I attribute a lot of the growth of what we've been able to do and give back to the racers to Todd Mead and award champs. So, support him in all your efforts when you're looking for your trophies for your event, your sponsor plaques. Go see Todd at Award Champs. Tell him, you appreciate all he does for motorsports and Mainly Motorsports. And the scroll sponsors, the little small businesses, some of them, they'd like to do more than they can. and able to, but it's an avenue for your small business, whether you're a motorsports enthusiast, you support motorsports, or you like this show. For anywhere from $200, $300, $400 a year, you can have your business name rolling across the bottom of the TV screen. So very affordable, and it's a great way, and you can contact me. But once again, I want to thank all them sponsors, and I hope you enjoy what we're able to do today. On to the show, leading up to show number 300 next week. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back here on Mainly Motorsports.
0% financing for the first time in history on select certified pre-owned vehicles at Southern Maine Motors. Southern Maine Motors is selling so many new Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeeps that they are overloaded with great trade-ins. Now with live market vehicle pre-owned pricing gathered by electronically polling over 20,000 pre-owned car websites every hour, they will show you their competitor's closest vehicle and price. Proof that you are getting the fairest deal out there. Visit them on Route 1 in Saco or online at southernmainmotors.com.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Not sure what brand tire to buy? Town Fair Tire has them all. Michelin, Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Toyo, Yokohama, Hankook, and more. No matter what size or brand, Town Fair Tire beats all the competition, even online prices. We'll also do a free front wheel alignment with any tire purchase. Name brand tires, the lowest prices, free alignment. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
You're watching Mainly Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Award Champs, rewarding your champions, the official supplier of Mainly Motorsports TV.
Show number 90. Seems like that was eons ago. That was actually the last show that John Crawford was the controlling owner, the host, and everything of Mainly Motorsports. I took over right after that show, went to show number 91. So I thought we'd show some highlights, see what his old set used to look like, some things that what he did, his format. And I said, geez, what can I find on show 90 that's pretty neat? Well, 2013 is, I'm going to call it the year of the track change in ownership. Last year we had Del Merritt taking over Speedway 95 100%, but this year you have the change in ownership up at Oxford. You have Spud kind of going through a reorganization, some things happening at Unity, but other big news is Richard and Vanessa Jordan taking over Wiscasset, and real excited for what they're trying to do. Their first forte into race car ownership, track ownership, track promotership. And real excited what they're going to do. So I thought it was only fitting to show some highlights from John Crawford's last show as owner of Mainly Motorsports from back in August of 2007 from Wiscasset Raceway.
Here we go, some highlights right down at Wiscasset. Once again, brought to you by Newport Motorsports, right there out of Corona. Check them out. Tough break for Jason Giggy right here, getting loose and looping it on the inside of Chris Doucette. These guys, you're used to seeing them, aren't you?
Yeah. They're there every Friday.
Yeah, on Friday nights. And Barry pulling nice moves there, backing off, letting the 39 get straightened out. And tough break for Barry. Right at the last lap, got beaten out by the 39 by, I'm talking a bumper for that third place. This is a little later in the feature. And Jason coming back on the outside of Chris Doucette, but Chris Doucette getting the victory.
Good for Jason. Jason he's got some bad luck.
The two sleepers, Cody and Ed Sleeper, right there in the 22 and 29 in the kids division here. And here's some good racing back a little bit in the pack here. And look at Tyler Tibbetts. He always seems to get somewhere close. And the girl in the class spun and backs her up against the tire wall in turn 1 and 2. Go back to Leach.
A lot of these guys come out to Unity on Fridays too.
Yeah. Oh, took a ride. That was quite a little ride up over the bank.
At least
the light pole's still there.
Yeah.
Ryan Ripley, yeah, he goes up to Uni, I believe, on race on Friday?
It's right beside us up there. Seems like a pretty good kid.
Yeah, he is.
Family
All
seems,
the Rippey family.
yeah, they seem like real nice people.
Yeah, kind of like these mini cups here. And this is where the rain came. We had to pull them over because the rain came just real quick for about a half an hour, 40 minutes. We had to drive the track, and we took them off, but then we put on the Strictly Streets in between, and they did a whale of a job. But these mini cups, see, had a tough wreck. You can see the rain coming down.
Oh yeah, we've had that.
And you know what? Very quick, just a shower. No big rain.
We've been rained out the last 3 weeks at Unity.
Yeah, I know.
We
Tough
ended
luck
up
on Friday
we got
night.
my feature in the other night, but it rained shortly after.
How's the crowds been on Friday nights?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Well, it gives an option for a lot of guys that want to run two nights. They can run up to Unity with the divisions that they have, and then run somewhere else on Saturday
Yeah,
night.
and
So
there's been a lot of people doing that this year.
it's a good option. Very good option. Right here is some good Strictly Street racing. Maurice Young in the 03. Maurice did make it back up to, you got DQ'd last weekend. And then you see the lightning off in the background. It's funny, the storm went right around us. It was like we was in a cyclone, and we was in the middle, thank goodness, and just got that quick little shower.
Bought that going.
Yeah, that's what it was. You know, keep the cars going. Let that go. Here's the remainder of the little mini cup feature. And, these guys did put on a good show. They had 14, 15 there, and a lot of them, mechanical problems, but they had one pretty good wreck, and we got the end of it right here. But it was a pretty tough hit. We threw the red flag when that 11 hit the 20. It was
A
quite a
couple
little
Joe Gibbs cars piled up.
Yeah. And the late models. I tell you, these guys put on quite a show. Anyway, up from 14, 15, 16, 18 to 20 every weekend.
That Punson out in front?
Yep, some good racing. Yeah, Punson was out front, and we had to bump right here. Tough break for the 3 car. And, actually, the 15 getting in the back of him there. Mikey Orr getting into the 3 car, and I told him, I said,
Randy Turner on the outside?
Randy Turner getting the victory right there. I'll tell
did.
You. Nice
He's had
to
a
see
rough
his first
year.
win in that car, and he's a tough competitor.
Yeah, he's a good driver. There's a good one.
Yeah, he can't wait to come back next year with his pro stock.
I'm sure.
Oh, he's dying to go pro stock racing. You know, a past champion of mine at Unity. And, always did a real good job. His whole crew.
Yeah, they're a class act, the whole crew.
And they always say, hey, you got something to eat. I used to go over there and have something to eat. There's the ladies division there. Then we go to the super streets, and this right here, Doug said, you know what, guys? We're going to pay you every week. $350 to win, $35 to take the green. Decent payoff down through. Just started last weekend. And you know what? A lot of guys coming on. We got a 100-lapper this weekend for the super streets, $1,000 to win, $150 just to take the green. And the LMS, $2,000 to win, $200 to take the green. And the LMS is, 2,100. But Brian Fortin, he had himself a good run in the 03. But the one that I'm really surprised is doing a really good job in that car. And he felt that it was kind of outdated, but really it isn't. He's doing a great job. Is Dan Trask in the 98.
The Cowboy.
The Cowboy. And there's the Pro All-Star Series Limited 100 winner that races with us every Friday. Adam Chadbourne in the 1. And Kramer getting the victory in 25. I knew it was just going to be time. There's good old Matt, and you said, oh, he loved it the other night.
Yeah, he stopped over my house and said he had a blast. Said him and Penfold were beating on each other, and they were loving every minute of it.
They had a good run. Dick Byron used to run with me up to Uni. Dick running with us there, and no problem on the front stretch. Overcame that.
And Matt said Jeff Burgess was the guy to beat.
Oh, big time.
Ended up breaking.
Jeff has had 3-4 weeks of just bad luck. He'd be out front, something happened, like he had a battery fall out.
Yeah, there he is, right there.
He had a battery fall out, and thank goodness, Jeff was out there 7 or 8 car lengths, because when he looped it there, and there's not much room with the wall there, and abundance of room anyways, when you got a whole bunch of pro stock coming at you, you gave him time to kind of slow down and get around him, so he wasn't.
Stuff closes up in a hurry.
And the mini stock 50 lapper we had. That Kevin Douglas.
As I say, he's out in front again, huh?
It's incredible. And the car goes good.
Yeah,
and then Jeremy Douglas's brother right there in third. And Brent Roy, always tough in the 11. But I don't know. That's Seth. He made it back. He told me, John, I'm coming back now. And Seth Wills, past champion of mine right at Uni, come down and join us in the mini stocks. And there's Reggie Bickford back. Yeah. One of these guys I remember, of course, because they raced for me at Uni for those 3 years that I was up there.
Reggie's a good wheel, man. He goes pretty good no matter where he's at.
Yep. Definitely. But this was overall a very clean race. They only had one caution. They started, 20 minis and had one caution. And that was it for 50 laps.
That's good racing.
50 laps, one caution. Tough break for 10. Slowing down there. There's 18 overlapping Brian Lancaster out of Skowhegan. Caution, there was a white flag. This was the last lap. We started getting into the pack because, like I said, there was not many cautions at all.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available on all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel. Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Clark's Eastside Scrap and Westside Scrap, 2 of the region's most efficient scrap yards. Both locations have the latest and greatest equipment, along with large capacity scales that are constantly calibrated to ensure honest weights. Car crushing, roll-off containers, scrap metal. Clark's Eastside Scrap in Chelsea and Clark's Westside Scrap in Farmingdale. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Under the bright lights of your playing field, one performer continues to shine. The Fisher Extreme V. With durable X-bracing, the Extreme V carries the load. With precision passes, the power to bust through, the maximum protection of the Fisher Trip Edge, and the brightest lights available. Fisher, your business, our passion. See Weir's Motor Sales Incorporated in Arundel.
Hey, I'm Kyle Busch, and when I'm in Maine, I watch Mainly Motorsports.
Now, as soon as I took over Mainly Motorsports at the end of 2007, 2008, we were trying to do some different things. We took a trip in the fall down to North Carolina, go down and check out a race, but then got up with the idea of there's a lot of Mainers that are located in North Carolina, relocated down south. You've seen us have a couple on the show over the last few months. Derek Nealon comes to mind, spotting this weekend for Juan Pablo Montoya at the Daytona 500. Such a big deal for him. A little kid from Windham, Maine. Now he's all grown up and standing on the tower at Daytona. But we went down, caught up with bunches of Mainers that relocated in the south, doing all kinds of different jobs. And I thought it'd be fitting to show from show 100, which aired on January 9th of 2008. 3 Mainers that have relocated that you kind of forget about, but they are down there. George Nelson, Stan Meserve, and Kyle Coolidge. So enjoy this piece back from January 9th, 2008 that we aired on Mainly Motorsports, called Relocated Mainers.
Those 3, we got them there this week, and we hope you enjoy this week's segment on your Relocated Mainers, brought to you by Mainly Motorsports and the Racing Paper. Okay, we caught up with another Mainer that's relocated south. Today he's doing a little driving duty, but that's not usually what you're doing. Tell everybody who you are and what you're up to down here in the great heart of North Carolina race car country.
My name is George Nelson, and I work at Hendrick Motorsports. I paint the 24 and 48.
So you moved down from Scarborough, big, I don't know what I'd call you, but you were always around Beech Ridge, working on Glenn Cusack's car. Yeah. And how long were you at the Ridge before you decided to relocate?
I lived in Scarborough 32 years. I moved down here and Been here about 11 years now and just like it down here.
Well, why don't you tell the people back home what path you took to get down here, the contacts you made, and obviously you probably just didn't throw the family in the truck and head down like the Hillbillies did, the Beverly Hillbillies. But how'd you go about it, George?
Just come down here to visit, went to the Coca-Cola 600 and stayed with Slugger Labby. And Slugger kind of introduced me to some people, and I went back home and made out some resumes, and I got a call from Ray Abraham, and I've been here ever since.
So you were one of the original guys when the 24 team started taking off and making a real name for themselves, and obviously probably a lot larger now than it was then. How many people are there now compared to when you first started?
When I first went to work there was 18 of us. That was the driver, the crew chief, the scorer, everybody. And now with the 24-48 team as one, now there's 88 of us altogether.
So everything we read in the papers back home about that 24 and 48 team being one, that's not just public relations stuff. That is the truth. That is all under one shop, and you guys are all one team.
Yeah, Hendrick Motorsports is pretty much 4 teams under one roof. We all work together.
Now, will you get a chance to travel to New York there in a couple weeks?
Yeah, week after Thanksgiving, we're headed for New York on Thursday, and we'll be up there for the weekend.
Still don't know who you're going to be celebrating with, but actually, first and second, that's nothing to be ashamed of, either way.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to have 2 cars going to Homestead, and both of them can win the championship.
So that's pretty good, because we've met a lot of great people down here, and they're all at different facets. Some of them are just beginning out with ARCA teams. Some of them are on some of the, I hate to say backmarker cup teams, but obviously you guys set the bar. But now we've caught up with somebody that's actually on the top 2 running teams, and that's got to make you feel proud. And I know everybody in the great state of Maine feels proud knowing they got some of their people down here really making a difference. So thanks a lot for the interview, George. Good luck today with your little Thunder Roadster.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, folks, we've caught up with another Mainer down here in the south, actually over here at Concord Motorsports Park, helping out some of the northern boys that come down. We're here with Kyle Coolidge, who relocated and trying to make a career for himself in this big NASCAR game. How you been, Kyle?
I've been outstanding. Life's been going great for me.
Now, why don't you tell everybody what you got going on down here in North Carolina?
Currently, I'm working for Hall of Fame Racing. I've been there coming up on 2 years now. I'm a mechanic in the shop, backup tire carrier. Looking at going over the wall full-time next year if we can get a few spots moved around. Other than that, I've been just working on race cars, traveling every weekend, get ready to go to Homestead tomorrow. But it's all going good.
Now, how old are you?
I am 23 years old.
So, obviously, you must have got right out of school and decided you were going to make a go for it and move down. I mean, you raced a little bit up there in the north.
Well, it wasn't really a get out of school thing and come down here. I was in the Coast Guard for 3.5 years doing the reserves. And in 2004, I was running an Allison Legacy car. And we came down to Tri-County Motor Speedway for a 200-lap race down here. And my buddy Mikey Morno, he taught me into coming down. And this April of 2005, I moved down here. So it all fell together really quick for me. I've been down here 2.5 years. So,
have you been at Hall of Fame since you came down?
Yeah, I was down here for 9 months, and I had my first tryout, my first interview with Hall of Fame, and my first cup job in 9 months. So I can't complain about that.
So next year, you're saying in 2008, you could be going over the wall with J.J. Yaley, huh?
Well, if all goes well and play my cards right, hopefully, yeah.
Well, you make sure you keep us posted at Mainly Motorsports, because I'd love to announce that on the air that we got a guy on the Over the Wall gang from Poland, Maine. So good luck in anything in the future, and keep moving up the ladder.
Well, that's what we're planning on doing. I just want to make a career, make a living.
All right, Kyle, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Okay, we found another old Mainer, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but Stan Meserve, about 8 years ago, 10 years ago, you packed up, won a race, won a championship, decided it was time, sold the business, and relocated. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing down here in the South?
Everything I've been doing? I don't think you want to know all that. I've just been down here involved in cup racing, and just recently I thought I was going to retire. I was all happy with it, and people got after me and wanted me to be part of another deal, so now I'm up juniors, JR Motorsports, doing the same thing I've been doing.
So yeah, the last time we were down a few years ago, we caught up with you over to DEI. You were on the Cup program doing setup before they headed out the door, and now you're over to JR's. That's got to be a pretty sweet deal. I mean, because he's the man when it comes to motorsports as far as down here, as far as popularity, and I know up our way he's got a lot of fans. So how closely do you work with him?
Oh, to say, I don't know how to call it, just we work for him, and He's just in and out. He's a real busy guy. Just an average guy. Just makes a lot more money than you and I do, though.
Oh yeah. Now we saw you this summer there. Paul Watts put a car together, and you ran up to his cassette, ran real competitively. Does the fire still burn to get behind the wheel of these super late models?
Oh, I'm a racer. I always like to race, and the good thing is that Paul gives me a chance every once in a while. I probably still just do it all the time, but I guess some other priorities now. But it's sure fun to go back and race a few times a year. It's a little bit different going back part-time, though.
Oh yeah, it is. Now compare with, I mean, obviously you came down south later in life. We've talked to some guys that have left and headed this way in their early 20s. Do you regret not doing it sooner? Are you glad you did it when you did? I mean, what's your feeling?
Well, see, that's what age is good for. I was down here in my 20s and did this thing and pretty much went broke and had to go back home and pay my bills. So I just wasn't able to stick it out.
Well, that's good. Now you're over here today helping out Mike Rowe, another former competitor of yours up there in the north. So really good to see you out and still involved in the sport. And good luck, and hope to see you around and when you travel up north next year.
Well, thanks. I guess we're making plans to at least run a race. That's kind of what we're going to do.
One race a year till you physically can do it. Well, thank you, Stan.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. Most people know us for our RV sales and service. We're also Maine's largest trailer dealer. With over $1 million in stock and online at scottsrecreation.com, from 2-place opens to 5-place enclosed and everything in between. Our showrooms are stuffed with used snowmobiles, new jackets, bibs, pants, gloves, boots and helmets, plugs, belts, oil, and more. We're ready for winter. Are you?
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Not sure what brand tire to buy? Town Fair Tire has them all. Michelin, Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Toyo, Yokohama, Hankook, and more. No matter what size or brand, Town Fair Tire beats all the competition, even online prices. We'll also do a free front wheel alignment with any tire purchase. Name brand tires, the lowest prices, free alignment. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
One segment we tried to do, just never took off. I thought it would be a good one because everybody likes to go on the forums, and now they have Facebook. So maybe Facebook was coming into its time at that point, and they didn't need trash talk. But you know, Archie St. Hilaire, Blow Brothers came up with a great concept: trash talk. You get to write in, but you had to have your name and your email address because we didn't want people hiding behind screen names and fake names. That's one thing that doesn't happen on Facebook. I'll give you credit there, but. It never really took off. We had some things. People would a little gripe about a racer or a track or something. But, this one was pretty neat because back in the middle of July 2008, a trash talk came in and the person was trashing me. And we all know sometimes I can get a little antsy sometimes and say what's on my mind on the show. Maybe sometimes I should not say what's on my mind, but I do. And Greg, if he was here, he'd tell you that why I do it. But it was pretty neat to have me read a little bit of trashing about myself and go on the defensive, which I do go on the defensive and get a little Steve Perry rant. And that was back in the days of Marco, and everybody knows, Marco was with John, and he helped me get through the early parts of Mainly Motorsports because I had no idea about anything that was going on. So, it's pretty neat, and really appreciate Archie and all he's done for us with the, some of the ideas and things he's done with, the Young Gun program last year and some of the other things he's worked with us and helped us out with. So enjoy this segment, which was from show number 120 back in July 16th of 2008.
Anyway, I wasn't going to do trash talk this week. I didn't have that many, but I got one, and kind of really irritated me. So I figured I might as well do it this week before it gets old.
Besides, we need more Blow Brothers plugs on here.
This is brought to you by Blow Brothers, but a couple weeks ago you weren't here, and we talked about Kyle Busch at All-Star Speedway. We had a trash talk about him, and I'm not saying he might show a little arrogance sometime and all that, but hey, He's in his shoes, he's paid his dues, and you know, well, this person was offended by some of my comments, but said, where else would you find Kyle Busch unless it's under trash talk? If he can't win, he runs and hides. Where have I heard this before? This is a poor sportsman, and you want to teach this to young people. His records have already been broken by Joey Logano, the youngest to get into NASCAR, youngest to win a pole, and the youngest to win a NASCAR race. If he goes back to truck racing, Hornaday is going to kick his butt. Well, you know what? Hornaday's had his shots in all them levels too, so what? They just get mad because the guy comes back and beats them. So it's the nature of the beast. And in the Nationwide Series, he can't beat his teammates in the 20 car. Nobody can beat him. And when he's in the 20 car, he wins. So I mean, what are you saying there? And there's still a few things going on that is going to kick his butt, and one of them is Mr. Montoya. And since he didn't back down from Harvick, either bring it on, whatever. Well, what I meant when I stated earlier, Marco, was remember when we had him at the 250 the second year? Well, he wasn't going to come back. And Bill Ryan gave us the opportunity for J.J. Yaley. I turned it down. Gave us the opportunity for Craven. I turned it down. And I didn't do this to make it so people come and hung around our trailer because we had a Cup star in our car. I did it because I wanted to have 2 chances to win the Oxford 250. I mean, you understand that, right?
Oh,
J.J. Yaley had never driven a Super Late model. These guys don't put the effort in. I'm sorry. I don't care. Kevin Harvick's coming up. Great. I appreciate it. They've done it. They don't put the effort in that Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch came up and tested on his own both years, put the effort in. The second year he came, he stayed in Loudon after he won the Cup race to come up to Oxford on Monday and test to give himself the best opportunity to win. Say what you want about the guy, but he goes and gives 110%. And this is what this guy says. You stated that some of the other drivers was not good enough to drive your car. Never said they weren't good enough. Didn't feel they were going to give me the opportunity to put 2 cars in victory lane. This needs clarification. Are you racing for money or points or a place in destiny? This is supposed to be entertainment. Yeah, it's entertainment. We got $50,000 tied up in a race car. If I'm going to have a guy that's going to come up and wreck it, it's going to be a guy that I think is going to give me a shot to at least win the race, not a guy that's going to need a provisional to get in the race and then run around 35th and decides he's had enough and just wants to destroy the car. So that's what I was talking about there. A couple of years ago, Ken Schrader raced for 3 years at Wiscasset. He won, he raced them hard, and they did the same. One of the best racing at a local track I had ever seen. Talking with him later, he said it was not getting any easier. Also, same year, had a chance to talk with Kenny Wallace at Nashville, and he stated that if his schedule allowed, he would love to race again at Oxford or other local tracks. He has good personality and would be a good show. Well, what's Kenny Wallace doing?
Hey, Richard Petty's got a good personality too, but he ain't going to win the Oxford 250.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Kyle Busch is a racer. I mean, I'm on Speed 51. He's going on his off weekend. He's racing. He's racing an ASA car at Iowa. He's going to the Slinger Nationals. I mean, you know, these guys all come from the Andy B mentality. You know what I mean? I don't care what you call it like it is. If you're not a Kyle Busch fan, be a Kyle Busch. You're not a Kyle Busch fan, but you can't say that, you know, the guy's this, the guy's that. The guy is a racer.
Just check it out yourself there. Go to some of these other races that he's in there. Like when we were down at Lakeland this year, there's Kyle pitching in to change a motor. There's Kyle ripping every friggin' piece of suspension off the front of the car and replacing it.
Yep.
I mean, the guy's a winner.
Yeah, he shows up to race, you know. Final point, you have to get off your butt and get some footage of tracks other than those in your area. Get out to Bullwinkle, Greenville before they close, Spudway in the county, and drag racing at Winterport. Well, get off my butt. Maybe you don't understand this, but I work a regular job. When I bought this show back in September, anybody that was watching it in September knows this show was a fiasco. There was no footage of anything. There was 2 guys sitting here talking about nothing, all right? I've lost, you know, numerous sponsors because of it. I'm trying to build the show back up to what I call a respectable show, and I'm sorry if I'm not covering everything that you want me to cover. I'll do the best I can. I'm trying to get out and get as much as I can, but I can't please everybody, so you know what? I'm going to please myself. Thanks. We're going to take a break.
Clark's Eastside Scrap and Westside Scrap, 2 of the region's most efficient scrap yards. Both locations have the latest and greatest equipment, along with large capacity scales that are constantly calibrated to ensure honest weights. Car crushing, roll-off containers, scrap metal. Clark's Eastside Scrap in Chelsea and Clark's Westside Scrap in Farmingdale. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. Most people know us for our RV sales and service. We're also Maine's largest trailer dealer. With over $1 million in stock and online at scottsrecreation.com, from 2-place opens to 5-place enclosed and everything in between. Our showrooms are stuffed with used snowmobiles, new jackets, bibs, pants, gloves, boots and helmets, plugs, belts, oil, and more. We're ready for winter. Are you?
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Amanda. Who could forget Amanda? And I'll never forget, and I wish I had the email to read you, when Amanda sent me her little email that said she just relocated, moved back to Maine from down south. I was flicking through the channels one night and, sitting there with her parents, and, they stopped upon this show called Mainly Motorsports, and they said, oh yeah, that's right, this is on, and they proceeded to start watching it, and, when Amanda was asking them what it was all about, and so it's a little local TV show, and Amanda proceeds to send me an email, want to skip behind the scenes, anything she can do. She has aspirations to be involved in a television show about motorsports. So had no idea what I was getting into, and she had no idea what she was getting into. She contacts me. We set up a meeting. She's thinking she's coming to maybe take a few notes and work behind the scenes, and I instantly offer her the co-host job. So she said she'd try it, came on board, probably was here for 8 or 9 months, and what a great time we had. I mean, she was so much fun. She brought so much new enthusiasm and new life to the show, with her bubbly personality, obviously her good looks. It was kind of like the Beauty and the Beast type of thing, so it worked. And I was skeptical at first, but I had a great time with her. She traveled with my family. It was like having the third daughter, so to speak. I mean, really had a lot of fun. And one of the most fun trips we ever had was when we went up to Honeywell Valley, in the mud. You look at her, she's prim, she's proper. You wouldn't think that, she would just fit into that atmosphere, and did she ever, put on the cut-off jean shorts, put her hair in pigtails, brought her mud boots, and we just had a ball. And, there was competitors and offering us rides, and she got a chance to drive a mud runner. It wasn't a mud truck, but it was a mud runner, Crazy Mark's Camaro, and, we just had a great time that day. And, Lee from Four Seasons Synthetic, who supported us, shot some video of me and her out there, and just having her on the show, it just changed everything. And I'm glad things are working out with her now. She's starting her own little family. She's down in North Carolina, and things are going good. And I know I miss her from time to time. Keep me straight, keep me organized, because I'm not the most organized person. But I know we had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of people that missed her when she left, and really, thank her for everything she did to the show. And this episode came from July of 2009, when me and her were up at Honeywell Valley. This was almost halfway through our show's life expectancy, or life, I should say. This was from show 154. So it's Amanda and me up at Honeywell Valley, Amanda getting her chance to run the mud truck, or the mud runner, I should say. Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports. I'm here with Amanda there, and fresh off our weekend in the mud, huh?
Yeah,
Have you ever seen so much mud?
No, and I've never been so muddy in my life. And I mean, I came well prepared. I had my mud boots on, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a thing to do, to wear the mud boots. You still saw people in sneakers like me, but both my wife and Alicia that went up, and you had.
Or you
could have
gone. You could have gone barefoot, because there were people doing
yeah.
that
How
too.
about what guy? I don't know what his name was, but we should have talked to him. The guy that just pulls these vehicles out. And,
he was into his neck, up to his neck in mud.
Yep. You guys all want these mud baths and stuff, so that would have been your opportunity to go out there.
I know. I should have just dove right in.
Take a mud bath. But no, it was a good time. We filmed some stuff, and we're going to air our piece next week. We had a little problem in the editing process, but we've got it straightened out. But Lee from Four Seasons Synthetic was up there as being one of the sponsors to Guy, and he was able to get some footage of things that went on. And
he pulled through for us this time.
Good old Lee.
We owe a lot to Lee.
Well, the big deal with Amanda getting into Crazy Mark's Camaro,
Crazy Mark's Camaro, and I swear Crazy Mark is like 6 feet tall, because I was like hugging the wheel, like trying to get on the wheel and push the accelerator at the same time, and it just like, first it wasn't going anywhere, and I just...
And me on the other side screaming at you, go, floor it.
I'm like, I'm trying.
Because there's like big holes, you can't see them obviously in the mud, but you went like 70 or 80 feet further than I thought we were going to, and then...
Yeah, and I was the only one in the powder puff.
Well, yeah, they didn't have a part bus, so they had to put us in like with the regulars. But appreciate Mark, you know, doing that, and Lee was able to get it because me, Mr. Prepared, I handed my wife the thing as we're getting ready to go and say, hey, here, go tape me and Amanda, right? Well, I gave her a camera with a dead battery and the lock thing on, so she couldn't. So Lee got that part, but we got some other great stuff that we'll show next week. And you know, if you get the opportunity next year, you know, they do a 3-day thing, so try to pencil one of those days in to get up there.
And it's a lot of fun.
Rain played a little havoc this year with the sand drags and stuff, but it's neat. I mean, and they don't care.
Well, and actually getting in and driving it made you appreciate it even more than just watching it, because it's like, wow, this is fun. You have, you know, power, and it sounds all big and mean. And
how about the guy in the Renegade Doom Buggy that we don't have on this week's show, but we'll have next week?
Well, next week, and
all open.
I couldn't get enough of it. I was just like filming his thing, and I was just like, that's just crazy. And he went through the whole thing.
Yeah, no,
you know.
Well, we should have gone through, but because you had that added weight, you think that was a hindrance to have the too much right side weight?
I did have a hindrance.
I tried.
Not naming names.
Not naming names. I'm the big guy. I tried to get Leanne to go, but there was no way Leanne was getting muddy.
Yeah, and I couldn't go by myself because
No.
I needed a cheerleader
You
to
needed
just.
a cheerleader. I was a cheerleader screaming, go, 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 like a little girl. But no, we want to thank Lee for you know, coming through for us and, you know, having this footage, and we'll show our piece next week from Honeywell Valley. So enjoy this.
This is not a drill.
Repeat, this is not a drill.
Is that all you got?
Let's begin.
Under the bright lights of your playing field, one performer continues to shine. The Fisher Extreme V. With durable X-bracing, the Extreme V carries the load. With precision passes, the power to bust through, the maximum protection of the Fisher trip edge, and the brightest lights available. Fisher, your business, our passion.
See Weir's Motor Sales Incorporated in Arundel.
This brings us to where we are today. Show number 210 was Greg's debut on Mainly Motorsports. What's that? 88 shows ago? Unbelievable. He's come a long ways. I'll never forget the first time he showed up. His t-shirt on, he had a hole in it, white t-shirt underneath. We had to color it in with a Sharpie so the white didn't show through. Had a great time, didn't know that he was here for, you know, for the long haul, and he's done a great job, and I really appreciate all he's done. But this was actually the last show that we shot at Time Warner. Decided to do some other things, and you know, just the cost had just, you know, things had just gone array, and you know, I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what I was going to do, and I'm going to tell you guys, and a lot of you, you know, got a chance to meet him up to, I shouldn't say a lot, because the ones that came into the show got a chance to meet Dave Stewart, and I'm going to tell you, Dave Stewart, the guy that behind the scenes does all the editing, puts the show together. He's kept Mainly Motorsports afloat. You know, we've bounced ideas off each other. We've worked things. I mean, he'll tell you, he taught himself how to edit, you know. It's not a kid out of high school. He's older than me. I'm not going to say his age, but taught himself how to edit. He does a great job. You know, we're still considered two rookies, me and him, but, you know, I think for a show to go as long as this show is gone, and the advertisers to see the value in it, and, you know, the sponsors to be on board, and everything that's happened here, you know, it wouldn't be possible without, you know, without Dave Stewart, and I really appreciate him, you know, being as patient with me as he has been, but persistent with from the beginning, because he searched me out. You know, he came looking for me, wanting to help, and he's done a great job, and I can't thank Dave enough, and obviously Greg being on board, and as we're on the verge of show number 300 next week, you know, these two guys, and especially Dave, have just made all the difference in the world. So enjoy Greg's first appearance on Mainly Motorsports back from March 3rd of 2010.
Welcome to this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports. Seems like it's been forever since we were on here, and I was fortunate enough my last episode that had a little something for the guys there, had Katie Hagar in the seat. So this week I thought I'd bring a little something in for the girls to look at, and man, did we fill the seat. I'd like to welcome Greg Emerson to the set of Mainly Motorsports. We, you know, you guys might remember Greg when we did the piece on the Naughty 40 racing team. Greg is a very vital part of that, and a big part of that, and today he's a big part of this show, right, Greg?
Yeah, I am. I try to be anyway. Well, let's see how I do today, Steve. Thanks for having me.
You'll do all right. I mean, if nothing else, you could fill the seat.
Right. I did fill the seat pretty good.
Yeah, they had to, a little late starting this morning. They had to reconstruct the room and move the cameras back. And, you know, the wide shot is a shot today. But, no, Greg, I mean, we talked on the way up. You've been in racing for years. What did you say, 22 years?
Yep. 22.
Raced over the, you know, with many different people.
Yep.
And now, obviously, with Dan McKagan, that whole Naughty 40 group, you're having, you know, you found a tremendous amount of success in the 2010 season, you know, looking to build off that, and, you know, shuffling some things around that when we did the piece with you guys, I mean, 80% of your deals were done, but you've kind of changed things out on your last deal with the Wildcat.
Yeah, we had to find somebody to fill the seat, and it got shuffled around, and we played around a little bit, and we ended up with Mike Ramsey in the seat, and Mike's done a great job different times, you know, and he's going to come under the fold, and he's always been a big supporter of us, and, you know, he deserves a shot, you know. So
yeah, so that's...
We got the brick in the
Yeah, so you got brick
40.
as part of the team, so,
Yeah.
you know, that'll be pretty good. What was it? Another brick in the wall, right?
No,
Well,
not this year.
You hope not, right?
We're gonna change brick to slight mortar or something like that.
Slight mortar, but no, that'll be a good opportunity. But you know, the off season is, you know, it's been here for a while. But you guys participated in the Northeast Motorsports Expo this weekend. You had 4 cars down at the Race and Preview.
Yeah, that was a trip. We spent one night from like 4 in the afternoon until midnight lettering one Brick's car actually, and then we had Lyman, the old man's car, his past sportsman car. We spent the next night, and this was the 2 nights prior to the Race and Preview. We spent from like 5 in the afternoon till after midnight lettering that thing.
Now, is that it for car shows for you guys this year?
I believe so. Who knows, you know?
Yeah, because going on, starting, you know, in the next week or so, over at the Auburn Mall, you can contact Dan Morris. You know, Oxford doesn't do their own show, but you know, the Auburn Mall has worked with Dan Morris over the last couple of years and allowed him to bring some cars in, some go-karts, and I think this year they're only going to have a 1-week show. So it's an opportunity for anybody that wants to get out there and display their cars. You can contact Dan, and the number is 782-5936, or find him on Facebook or something, and you know, put your car over in the Auburn Mall. So there's a chance for you guys if you want to spend a week over at the Auburn Mall.
Who knows? They might decide to do it. I don't know. We'll be there though if they do.
One good thing about over there, they bring some go-karts in. You'll see, you know, some different type of race cars, and it's not just an Oxford thing, you know. So some Pass guys, some Beech Ridge guys, anybody can bring their car and display. So which is really good, just like all the other off-season shows are.
Yeah, it's a good time for fans to get out and see the drivers up close and see the cars up close and see what's inside of them, you know. I mean, when you have like Beech Ridge has the happy half hour and the autograph session nights, I mean, the parents don't get as much time to spend around because they're running around trying to get their kids as much candy as they can, obviously, and as many pictures and stickers and whatever else people pass out. But so I think the shows are a good place for people to go, and they can actually talk to the driver or crew guys that are there and learn a little something. You know, maybe they'll spark an interest, and we'll get a dad who says, hey, can I come be a part of Naughty 40? And we'll be like, yeah, come give it a shot or whatever, you know.
That's
We're
cool.
always up for new people joining us, you know. It's good to bring people in. We need as many people as we can with
4 cars. Well, 3 cars running
3
weekly.
cars at the Ridge and 2 Pass Sportsmen's running, you know. So.
Yep. No, and it was a hectic weekend. There was a lot going on for you know, for it being the off season, you know, and for the race car enthusiast, you know, between the show there and obviously we got Go Green Racing. You know, people up this way are starting to learn more and more. I mean, they're following the whole nationwide deal now, and I believe they're sitting 20th in points after 2 races. So that's for a little team out of Old Orchard, Maine. That's a pretty big deal.
Yep. I saw on Facebook the other day that our buddy Steve Tapley got the hauler out to Vegas all right, and he's sitting in there and enjoying the sun while we're freezing over here.
Oh, yeah, no, exactly. And then you guys, a bunch of you guys traveled over. I know Dan was supposed to compete in the DT 100, but, you know, he's got some back issues going on, so he wasn't able to. But, you know, Doug Wolf took his place, and they had, you know, pretty close to 100 racers over there at the DT 100.
Yeah, I think it was between 85 and 95 that ended up showing up, I think. But it was that was a good time, and, I mean, They had it structured out pretty good so that it worked out, and I mean, if you wanted to see a race car driver from America, I don't even want to say New England.
Because they bring them in from Ohio, Pennsylvania, some of these super modified drivers. And, you know, I know in the past they've come from Arizona, you know, and you know, so and I heard, and I haven't heard total figures, but I'm hearing that they raised, you know, right around $20,000 for their, you know, for all the charitable organizations that they work with. So that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is. It's for a great cause. I mean, it's a bunch of guys. I mean, I think Maine Indoor wasn't quite expecting the roughness that came up at times. I don't think it was that rough to me, but I mean, what do you expect when you get 100 race car drivers and
yeah, these guys
they're
do anything.
It's a trophy. They're going for it.
Yeah, you know, even if there's no trophy involved, just if they think they can walk out as the winner, you know?
Right? Yeah.
So no, and in between that,
100 egos in a building, it's over.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. So that was good, and you know, it's good that they raised a bunch of money. We were down to Victory Lane karting, and we got some footage in later on in this week's episode that shows some of the indoor racing that goes on, and pretty wild stuff there. I mean, they're getting it done with it. You know, they bring their carts that they run outdoors and bring it indoors, and you know,
Victory Lane's a good time.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, in the wintertime, you can get your fix and watch some adults have fun, and you can watch some kids have some fun, and it's great to see the kids do good and
it is.
Learn their craft.
You know, we got a jam-packed show this week. Between that, you know, some racer preview. Caught up with Bob Libby, you know, one of the true patriarchs of this sport, and he was able to get out and spend some time at Racing Preview, so we spent some time talking with Bob, and you know, we're going to have that on this week's show. And then Willie Lasciuto, who's doing a lot of work for me and on the production end and out shooting and getting some footage, traveled up to Turner 2 weeks ago for the one lunger race, and I don't know, they've been doing this for years, and he said he's never seen so many old snowmobiles up there, and old guys and guys.
I probably wrapped some of them around trees back in my day.
You know, the problem is, I think, and we'll show later, you know, we can't compete in a one-lunger because there's no way one cylinder is going to haul us.
Maybe if I got one under each knee.
Yeah, no, so then it's a two-lunger, or everything's hanging out, you know. So, but we got a great show planned today. I'm glad Greg was able to take the time off from his busy schedule and get off Facebook for the day and come up and spend some time with me and, you know, talking on this week's episode of Mainly Motorsports. So we'll be right back. Welcome to Mainly Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainly Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems, even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel. Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
And there you have it. From the beginning, almost the beginning, the pre-Steve Perry days up through where we are now. Next week, show number 300. Try to do a couple special things, maybe bring some people back. And can't thank all you viewers enough. And like I said right at the beginning of the show, the advertisers that have come on board, the scroll sponsors. I've got a couple scroll sponsors that have been with me since the inception. Todd Mead, right from the beginning. Other guys have jumped on, see the value of involving their businesses with Mainly Motorsports. And I can't thank each and every one of them enough. So for all you viewers and fans that support us, I really appreciate it. We're looking for a great 2013 season. Still your chance. If you're watching this, don't forget Racing Preview 2013 going on at the Portland Expo this Friday night and Saturday and Saturday evening. Get out, support your racers, support your tracks. Short track racing, whether it's on a lawnmower, a go-kart, a motocross bike, you know, a vintage race car, super late model, modified, Wildcat strictly, it doesn't matter. Midweek program, get out and support it. Everybody should introduce somebody else new to the sport this year. Take them as a friend, then you're going to make them a fan. So for Steve and nobody else, I hope you enjoy what we're able to do this week and look forward to bringing you show number 300 next week here on Mainly Motorsports.